Are high bar back squats better for you or low bar back squats better for you? Find out the answer to this highly contested question in today's video. Hey everyone, Samuel here from Wynn, where the goal of the channel is to help you get a little bit stronger every single day. Thanks for clicking on another 5-minute Friday Q&A series where I attempt to answer your question in under 5 minutes. So if you would like your question answered, please leave a comment below or reach out to me on Instagram. So today's question is pretty heated debate in some corners of the internet, which you probably don't need to go down. But in any case, I will seek to throw my 2 cents into this deep, deep well. So let's start that timer. So let me answer your question with another question, and that is, would you only want a hammer or a screwdriver in your toolkit? Seems kind of ludicrous because the answer is very much ludicrous. You want both the hammer and the screwdriver and a saw and some pliers and literally every other tool you can get your hands on, because the more varied your toolkit is, the more handy you are as a handyman. You can do more stuff with more tools. And the funniest thing about this debate is that it's really a matter of 2 or 3 inches. That's all we're debating. As the name suggests, a high bar back squat sits higher on the neck, higher on the shoulders, generally on the traps, whilst a low bar back squat slides down a couple of inches where it's still sitting on the traps, but more in line with the shoulder blades. And even funnier is that as different builds, people with different body shapes and sizes, their high bar and low bar is going to be relative to their body style and their body shape. So from a movement perspective, here are the main differences between the two of them. A low bar back squat usually means you're going to have a more horizontal back angle and more hip flexion. You're going to have less forward knee travel, but you're going to have more outwards knee travel. So you're going to have similar knee torque forces. Low bar back squat will allow you generally to hit depth sooner just because of the way the body works. You're going to shorten the range of motion ever so slightly. And low bar back squat, ironically, is less reliant on back strength. Even though the back bends over more, we've hit the weight closer to the fulcrum point, the hip. So because the weight is closer into the hip, we're using less and less strength to keep that up. But you have to remember, all these differences are very minuscule because we've only shifted the bar position 2 to 3 inches. Generally, a person can low bar back squat more weight than they can high bar back squat, and that's generally within a 10% weight range. If you have a bigger discrepancy than this, there's probably something wrong with your training. You probably need to train high bar back squat a little more just to bring that discrepancy up, because it really shouldn't be that big of a difference just because we are dealing with minutia here. You could probably tell where I'm going with this. Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter at all. Most people can back squat more than they can front squat. So does that mean you shouldn't have a front squat? No, you should front squat as well. Yes, weight matters, but it's not all that matters. If it's all that matters, we would never overhead press because we can squat more than we can overhead press, and we would never barbell curl because we can squat more than we can curl. Your goals are going to dictate which exercises you'll be performing, not the amount of weight on the bar. Just like there's no single best exercise, there's no single best squat variant. It's all context dependent. From a general strength development perspective, the research shows that having a wider variety of exercises is more conducive and effective at improving your strength levels than changing the rep patterns. So there's science that backs this up. So really, the question should be reframed as to when should I be including the high bar back squat in my training, and when should I be including the low bar back squat in training. And I would throw out there that you should also be including the front squat into your training as well. Literally just throw in all the squat variants as much as you want, because it's all good. Now, if you're a powerlifter, you should definitely lean more towards that low bar back squat style, because you can low bar back squat more weight generally, and the sport of powerlifting is to squat more weight. And you definitely want to practice that movement pattern because that's going to be your competition bread and butter. Now, on the flip side of that, if you're an Olympic weightlifter or a CrossFitter, you want to stick to more high bar back squats and front squats for sure, because your sport involves more movements of that style. Now, does that mean those competitors shouldn't do the other style of squatting? No, they should incorporate all of them into their training in a strategic and tactical manner. Now, if you're not involved in competing in any barbell sports, doesn't really matter. Do the movement that you favor more, but I would suggest splitting them evenly up over the year so you can train all 3 variants year round. If you're an intermediate lifter, consider splitting the year into 3 phases where you focus on each one as its main lift, and then you have another secondary movement as the accessory lift. So don't low bar back squat twice, do a low bar back squat. For example, start off with a heavy high bar back squat with front squats as your accessory lift. Then you can flick over to some heavy front squats with low bar back squats as your variant, and then heavy high bar back squats with tempo front squats as your accessory. Something like that, where you're mixing and matching the 3 different main squatting patterns so that you're getting a nice well-rounded strength development. You're taxing the body in different ways and you're including different stimulus. So there we go. Question answered. I hope that settles the debate, but it definitely will not. It'll continue to rage on the internet, as everything generally does. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on any future Q&A videos. I'll leave a playlist at the end of the video, so check out the previous episodes of 5 Minute Friday Q&A. This has been Selwyn from Wynn Strength, and remember to never stop learning and to never stop lifting.